Overtiredness. One of the main kind of issues that we quite often see as a sleep consultant, we say that kind of most problems that we see is normally due to overtiredness or an inability to self-settle. Obviously for younger babies it's quite often, or it could quite easily be both, because they're that bit younger, less likely to have learned how to self-settle. For older ones it could be both, or it could be one or the other. We normally, well, what you'll probably find, is that if you think they're overtiredness, then you could find that they're probably harder to fall asleep at night. There's often more night wakings, and it sounds counterintuitive, but there's actually earlier wake ups quite often. So as a kind of, we often say that sleep breeds sleep. So I've had to explain to a few parents because it always sounds really, as I said, counterintuitive, but quite often actually upping daytime sleep or making bedtime earlier will often actually help a lot of the issues, especially night wakings and early risings. So I will send you all, or probably add it as a kind of document or photo on this page, a free copy of my sleep needs chart. We kind of say that this is a rough guide. It's not any sort of like, don't take it as like absolutely this is what they must have. Obviously all babies are different, so some might say that they need 3 hours sleep if you've identified that yours does really well in 2 hours 45, for example, or they might need a bit more. If they're a very active child, they might need a little bit more. So it's just a rough guideline, because I've had a few who, for example, might need 3 hours and they're getting 1 hour and they're not knowing why. So kind of, it's a target, but not like an absolute set in stone, this is what they must have, otherwise you will not solve any problems. You've also probably seen that, you will probably see that overtiredness can often cause bedtime battles as well. So kind of all four of the big main bedtime battles, night wakings, early wake-ups, and kind of problems like that, mostly caused by overtiredness. So as I say, I will post a picture of the sleep needs chart on the page and kind of comment on that. Also wakeful windows come into that, but I will do another video all about wakeful windows as well, because they play quite a big role into napping and overtiredness basically. So I will do more on that in a minute.